The miracle of birth is a beautiful thing, and yesterday I was lucky enough to witness it. Now, this wasn't the birth of like a human being or anything, this was the birth of something far more important, a new sport. It's called arm boxing, and it was discovered yesterday but has existed for far longer. And I would already argue that this is one of the biggest discoveries the human race has made since penicillin. So let me show you a bit of what arm boxing is and then we'll get into it. Never mind, just kidding. It's just a prank. I can't actually show you anything from the fights because I just got copyright blocked when I posted a video trying to show 30 seconds worth of clips. So, can't actually show you any of the video here. It's forbidden footage. I'll just show you some pictures. As you can see, it's two fighters with their hands duct taped together, and then they start exchanging blows, beating the shit out of each other until someone either dies or time runs out. They're also strapped to that stand in front of them so they can't escape. There's not a whole lot of wiggle room for tomfoolery here. This is just good old-fashioned pugilistic justice. A lot of people sent me this clip as a new sport that I should be aware of because I'm very much into these up-and-coming combat sports like slapping I've been into for years now. And I think this is cool, of course. It's very silly, very fun. You know, it puts you on the edge of your seat like, wow, is that guy's head going to get blasted clean off his shoulders? Holy shit, he's going to punch his teeth straight through the back of his skull like a shotgun blast. You know, like, it keeps you guessing. And it's fun to watch, but it's also not new. I actually made a video covering what this is based on, X-Arm. And I covered X-Arm years ago and recently recovered it again just because I find X-Arm so fascinating. It's basically this, but they used to have grappling. Let me show you.
Yeah, we've thrown it out completely.
I have not seen him strike yet. Lapool coming down. Oh my goodness! He's trying to throw an armbar. He is. He's throwing an armbar.
Wait a minute.
Hey, the judge just threw in a red towel. We're going to stop action here. I'm not.
Gary, I think the judge felt that the arm was in jeopardy.
I fucking love that. The dude throws his leg over the stand there like he's about to give him a lap dance, and then he goes into like some kind of crazy armbar, looking like a goddamn metapod hanging upside down on a tree with the dude's arm on his nuts. Like, fucking amazing. X-Arm was so goofy and fun. I think there was only ever like 3 episodes of it. I already forgot now. But it wasn't super popular, faded into obscurity, and most people don't remember it. But clearly it's been brought back in some capacity here, because arm boxing is obviously borrowing some DNA from X-Arm, but it looks like they got rid of the grappling component there. Probably for the best, because that shit could get so wacky. So that the guy in the blue in the clip you just watched who looked like an alcoholic G.I. Joe figure, that guy could have caused serious damage to the opponent's arm. Like, he fucking got it into a crazy twist. He damn near did like a crocodile death roll on it, snapping his arm clean off. So I think grappling was probably a bad idea for X-Arm off the get-go. And arm boxing recognized that it's also not super fun to watch unless you're trying to have like a good belly laugh at it. So to me it seems like they took the best part of X-Arm and just did it again. Which is fine by me. More X-Arm is fantastic news. Hope you're ready for some more fun. Instead of just showing you an actual clip, I've got a couple screenshots. But maybe if I just string together enough pictures here, it'll be like a little flip book. Honestly, I'm starting to warm up to this format here. I think this is better than watching the video of the fight. This is like a manga. This is cool. You can see how difficult it is to throw actual meaty, meaningful punches when you're strapped down like this and unable to really get your body behind it. A lot of these seem like wet noodles that they're throwing at each other. But there are some very serious hits here too. Since you can't really defend yourself, everything's just on the attack, all out offense. So you need to have a really strong chin, which clearly both of them do. But you're going to see a lot of wild flailing here, especially from the guy in the blue trunks. That guy went for like a spinning back fist. It was like he was doing a Rob side B from Super Smash Brothers. So, you know, sometimes you just get desperate to land hits. You turn your brain off and just start like doing this like a windmill attack like out of Simpsons where, you know, I'm gonna walk at you slowly and if you get hit it's your fault, that kind of thing. Because you have 1 minute, you can't use one of your hands and you just have to just keep punching as much as possible, so things are gonna get sloppy. And I think that's the beauty of it. Coming up towards the end of the match here, you can really feel the high octane adrenaline pumping throughout your body now, I'm sure. These are important screenshots, though. In fact, this one right here is one that I wanted to specifically talk about. This is when he starts just wailing on his opponent's arm. So that strategy you saw him employ briefly at the end there is something I thought about too, where he started like hammer fisting on his opponent's arm. I think that's just the most efficient strategy because his arm can't move. You're duct taped together. You will always land hits on his arm. It's kind of like leg checks in MMA, where you just kick the other person's leg just to weaken them a little bit as a bit of a nuisance. You know, and then they have to block with their shin. It's just mutual assured destruction. It hurts both people. This is much better than that because you can just always hit their arm over and over and over again. They can't really defend it. They can't dodge it or anything. They don't have that kind of mobility. Unless, of course, they're like quadruple jointed and can do like a full 360-degree spin at the elbow joint or some crazy shit. They're not going to avoid it. Like, it's just not going to happen. So instead of just getting into the standoff and going for head strikes, you could just keep hitting their arm over and over and over again until you, like, break the arm. There's also one more match I wanted to at least touch on, where it was like a grudge match between these two. After the guy on the right won, the bell rang, and this guy continued to just fucking play his head like a set of bongos. The guy on the left just got completely overpowered immediately because the guy on the right had the fastest fists of all time, so he started to, like, shield and curl up, so they called the match off. But you couldn't stop this absolute demon. So as he's like cowering in fear here, damn near in the fetal position, he continues to just bring down the fucking fist onto the back of his skull. This one in particular is extremely aggressive. I don't know what went on between these two, but there's definitely some bad blood there. I guess the guy on the left must have fucked the other dude's wife or something because they seem to hate each other. He was going for blows to the back of the head after the bell ring, and they'll just straight up kill someone. This is like damn near attempted murder at this point. I felt like I was watching an episode of an anime where the main character just snaps and loses himself to rage and just goes fucking like a flurry of fists until his opponent's dead. Overall, I do find this sport entertaining. I think it's an enjoyable, goofy sport, but I don't enjoy it nearly as much as slapping. Slapping is still always going to be my baby. I absolutely love watching slapping, and I enjoyed this, but I don't see myself being like a long-term fan of this sport. But I do appreciate it and hope they stick with it. They have a whole TikTok page dedicated to it now, and it seems like they've done a few fights. Seems like also a pretty professional setup as well. They've got like a nice stage, you know, they've got a good, you know, belt plus chain link to the stand. The duct tape seems high quality. So I think there's a bright future for it. People clearly find it fascinating at the very least. This clip went super viral on Twitter. Has like 8 million views right now. Their TikTok absolutely exploded as a result of this as well. So I guess we'll see what the future holds. Maybe it'll just continue to improve and get better. But it is always nice to see these kind of silly pop-up sports, you know, get the limelight for a bit, because I always enjoy them. What is it? ESPN The Ocho, where they have like all the crazy sports no one's ever heard of, and they're just all wacky. I'm a big fan of that kind of thing, so I'm excited to see what the future holds for arm boxing. That's about it. See ya.